Right, back to part 2. You're back to looking up my nose again because I get weird sort of like looks off the cars if I don't. I hope it's not too dark for you. If it is, apologies, but you know, it's a Kodak ZI8, you know. It's not a fucking red camera I'm using. So, ISO on this, absolutely shite. But anyway, so I'm dragging out a lot of my old source code because there's all sorts of bloody things, hundreds of applications and things and little plugins and all sorts I've wrote over the years for me. Some of them I finish, and some of them I don't. Some of them I hit a brick wall. Sometimes it's like with one particular application that I've been wanting to sort of, you know, show people for years. But to be honest, the technology, you know, the hardware is not fast enough for what it needs to do. Chances are by the time it is, it'll be of no use to anybody. But you know, other times I'm what you call a hammer programmer, right? I don't have this big wealth of knowledge in my head with programming. I just say, right, I want to do X, right? Then I will keep on programming stuff until it works. A bit more complex than that, but that's basically the bottom line of it. You know, I'll try something and say, okay, that line of code hasn't worked. Maybe the syntax is wrong, maybe I've got the variables wrong, and I'll keep digging around until it gets it right. It's a long process, right? But it works for me, and it's basically relaxation. You know, it's like, I treat it like a mental puzzle, right? It's just something that I can do away from the art. Now last night, I'm messing around for the third time over 3 years with the quadratic remeshing. Well, not algorithms, it's a group of algorithms. So that I've got my own code, because it's stuff of mine that would be very useful to people, but it's of no fucking use at the moment because there's no quadratic remesh, and it's all triangulated, you know, mesh types. Now, I don't want to bring a programmer in because that defeats the whole purpose of it. Now, I've got about, 3 or 4 different ways of quadratic remeshing, like a quad mesh over a tri-mesh, right? I want to get all 3 of them so that people have an option, and then you'd see which way you want to do it. You know, this is just basically make it so I can sculpt on it. You know, there's all sorts of stuff I've been messing around with over the years. There's mesh creation, there's all sorts. But that's just, you know, my spare time shit. Because I've had a lot less spare time recently than I've ever had. I've just been so busy. Now I've also got a pet peeve, right? Because over the last year, there seems to be a somewhat lost art in the world of business. And do you know what it is? Paying a fucking invoice on time. Now the days of the old 28-day invoice, when people used to pay before the 28 days, seem to have gone the way of the dodo. Now, it's always after 28 days. And usually you've got to shout and scream at them to get your money off them. Now they get very indignant when you do this, but the way I see it is this, and this goes to anybody who I've worked for in the past. If you come to me, as many of you do, and you say to me, oh, my back's up against the wall, we've got a deadline here, it's impossible, can you do this for us? I'll help you out. It'll cost you money, but I'll help you out. But I expect you to pay on time. Before 28 days. Not 30 days, not 60 days, not 90 days. Not completely forget about it. But the freelancers are always the last guys to get paid, you know. But in my sort of way of thinking, if I'm bailing you out the shite, then you owe me by paying me on time. Simple. Otherwise, don't bother coming back next time being the shite, and you've got like 6 hours to get something done, because I'll probably say, no, sorry, you didn't pay on time last time. You know, not worth my hassle. You know, I don't do this for money. It sounds crazy thing to do. Yeah, I do it for a living, but it's not, money's not my reason for being, right? I've said that numerous times. I would quite happily do this just for myself and never make a living out of it. You know, it's, I didn't get into 3D to become rich and famous and bloody powerful, because I'm never going to be any of those things. You're not get rich in the 3D world. You know, what to do is you basically bugger your health up and end up working for the pittance a lot of the time, unless you're really lucky. And if you are, more fucking power to you. yeah, occasionally I get some nice looks around in different places. Like at the end of April, I'm doing the Anomaly art event in Vancouver. Never been to Canada before and not been to Vancouver. But what this will probably consist of is Wayne gets on in car, from my dad's car, right? Take the airport, get on plane, get off plane, get taxi to hotel, stay in hotel, get out at hotel, do lecture and shit, go back to hotel, back to the airport, fly home. That's what it will consist of. You know, it's very rare that I do these things and you actually have any time to have a look around. You basically get there, you do your shit and you come back. Because people are paying, you know, X amount of money to get you there. And the last thing they want is you sitting in a bar getting pissed all night. You know, which I try not to do these days, you know. But this should actually be good for me because my body clock is completely fucked up at the moment with my insomnia. So it makes more sense. Actually running was at 5-6 hours behind over there. I might actually be in the same time zone as everybody else for once. Fucking awesome, that will. But yeah, I'm trying to see what the... You actually can see this pretty okay according to this light here. But I don't think you can see that, but the sun's went down. Oh yeah, you can see there, it's starting a little bit dark, but I'm just going down near the gate down here. But yeah, so yeah, Vancouver coming up. I'm not lecturing at the end user event this year. Might be designing the t-shirts for it. But to be honest, I've done it 3 years in a row. I'll probably still be there, you know, assuming I'm still living here, you know, not in Antarctica or somewhere. But I think people needed a bit of a gap at the end user event from my lectures. Besides, the stuff I've got on at the moment is complex, and a lot of it is that I couldn't recover the cathedral or in the match shots that I've done for FXPHD because I don't own them, right? I can't do that breakdown live. I would do something else. So a lot of the time that I've got at the moment is taking up with other people's work that they own, right? And I don't like to do the same thing time and time again. Every lecture is different. It always has been. I think the only time I've repeated things was last year, you know, which I think is excusable when you've had a mild stroke, you know what I mean? That's the only time I ever did, and that was still different like the 2 sessions. But yeah, I'll see if it gives it. So there you go, after sunset. It's a shame because there's a lovely orange bit there, right in the centre of the frame, in the gap in that cloud, but it's not coming up as orange, it's coming up as blue. It's lovely, it's like all orange illuminated under the clouds. But yeah, it's so it's, yeah, you know, it's like I just been too busy, you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to, in a strange way, I'm looking forward to these shots being finished, right? Because I'm really looking forward, more than anybody else probably, seeing these in the actual shot, right? Because it's a lot more different, a lot more different. I can't even think straight, like, it's a lot different when you're doing something for somebody else, right? Because the bottom line is, the buck stops for them, right? And I create what they want. In this case, Mike Seymour and FX PhD, and if people don't like it, you know, I'm in the clear. But it also means that if people love it, you don't get any credit either, right? That's not the way it works. I've seen this time and time again in games and films, and people promote the shit out of it as if they're the only person who's worked on that film, or that game, or that TV show, and they're not. You know, there's a whole team of fucking people. You're not the only person, the only sort of, you're not the only ball in the goal sort of thing. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Makes no sense, does it? Not even a little bit. But it's like saying I created this from this artwork, you know, for this game, and the art director told me what to do. But same with films, games, TV. Don't say I am the source of all power in this game, film, TV series, sculpture, whatever, right? If there's more than one person, I'm never too comfortable with that sort of attitude. For me personally, I don't do that. That's why whenever I show things, it's usually stuff that I am responsible for, alright? It's like, you know, the blue wheel thing, that wasn't my idea for the wheel, but, you know, I did all the sculpting, all the texture and everything else on it, you know, and Ward made it move. Yeah, that was about it for the guys at, oh Christ, I can't remember the name of it now. Anyway, They know they are. Same with that bloody Bedlam TV series. You know, same sort of thing. Whoop. It's after 10 minutes. Same with the Bedlam TV series. You know, it's like they said make a guy who has been burnt to death. So I did. Well, lots of references, burnt people and dead people, and came with something nice. You know, doesn't mean I'm responsible for all of it. God no. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video.